I'm very glad that you came.
No
Hold,
problem.
let me screen share. I hope more people join us. Hi, Aka.
Okay.
Hello, Aka.
Yes,
Can,
hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm very happy that you came.
Good
How
to
are
see you
you
again.
today?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's hot, but yeah, it's usual hot, so
Nice.
yeah,
Here it's cold and I don't fare well cold weather.
yeah, because yeah, it's summertime yeah, it's winter time in southern hemisphere. So
All right. Thank you very much for coming. Let
thank
me
you.
say hello to Gina. Hi, Gina.
Hi, Anna.
How are you?
And nice to meet you. It's a long time I don't see you.
Yes, long
I
time
don't know
no
if you
see.
remember.
Of course I
Yes,
do.
a long.
I'm very happy. Would you like to introduce yourself to the audience?
To introduce, uh, I read.
No, to introduce yourself to the others. You know, to Ken, Burns, and Ellie.
Okay. I'm not very practical. It's a long time I don't speak English too. I welcome El, Bernd, and Aka. I,
All right. Your English sounds good to me. Where are you from?
I'm from Italy.
Uh-huh. Seattle. All right. Thank you. Hi, Burns. Can you hear me? I don't know how to pronounce your name. Burns? Burns? Hello. Can you hear me? Hi. Burns call? I don't know how to pronounce your name. Can you hear me? Hmm. I'm not sure if he can. Okay, guys, let's get started. Okay, it's a very interesting story by Oscar Wilde, and it has a very difficult vocabulary, you know. So, Ken, could you please have the floor and start for us
Okay,
until dreaming from the
okay.
beginning until dreaming?
The Happy Prince by Oscar Wilde. High above the city, on the tall column, stood the statue of the Happy Prince. He was glided, gilded all over with thin leaves of fine gold. For eyes he had two bright uh, sap- sapphires, and a large red ruby glowed on his sword hilt. He was very much admired indeed. He's as beautiful as weather clock, a weathercock, remarked one of the town councillors, who wished to gain a reputation for having artistic taste, only not quite so useful. He added, fearing lest people should think him unpractical, which he really was not. "Why can't you be like the Happy Prince?" asked a sensible mother of her little boy who was crying for the moon. "The Happy Prince never dreams of crying for anything. I'm glad that there is someone in the world who is quite happy," muttered a disappointed man as he gazed at the wonderful statue. "He looks just like an angel," said Charity children as they came out of the cathedral in the bright scarlet cloaks and their clean white pinafores. "How do you know?" said the mathematical master. You have never seen one. Ah, that we have in dreams, answered the children, and the mathematical master frowned and looked very severe, for he did not approve of children's dreaming.
Thank you, Ken. Do you have any questions about the vocabulary?
Yeah, it's
Ken?
difficult. Yeah, it's
Yes, it
difficult.
is. But I will help you.
Not only the vocabulary, but also the story itself, like a bit abstract to me.
Okay. Okay. Let's start with this word here. Gilded is golden. Okay.
Gold, yeah, gold.
Golden.
Oh.
There is another word that you don't know.
How about short-heeled, the first paragraph.
Okay. It's the part of the sword. Do you know what is a sword?
Yeah.
Where you that you use to hold, you know?
To fight it. Oh, I see.
To hold.
Okay.
To
Okay.
hold. The part that
Okay.
you use to hold.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Thanks.
Anything else, guys?
Cloaks, scarlet cloaks.
Okay. What is that?
Almost the end of the what? Cloaks and their clean white pinafores. I
Okay.
also know
Okay.
pinafores.
Scarlet is similar to red.
Mhm.
Clothes and clean white pinafores. It's basically describing their clothes, you know, the children clothes.
Okay.
Let me Google to show you an image, okay? One second. Can you see? Like,
Oh, like a raincoat.
yes, similar to. Okay?
It kind of I saw this kind of cross in the
Yes.
old story, fairy tale or something.
Okay, let me show you the other one. The white pinafores. Hold on. One second. Can you see?
Ah, yes. It's a kind of apron.
Yes,
I
a kind of an apron, but more for babies.
I see.
Okay. All right. So, could you give us a summary of what is going on so far?
I think it's in a classroom or something.
Basically,
Mathematician.
it's describing the statue.
Okay.
You know, the statue is located on a tall column. You know, the statue of the Happy Prince, and then it's just mention some comments that people, you know, make about the statue. Okay, the first comment was from a guy. Who was the guy that made the first comment about the statue?
Who?
The prince. The prince, right?
No, the prince is the statue.
Oh,
The prince is the statue. The name of the statue is Happy Prince. It's a statue, a golden statue with eyes made of a stone that is blue, you know, and a ruby in the sword hilt. Who was the guy who made the first comment about the statue?
One of the town councillors.
Yes, exactly. And he compared the statue to a weathercock. you know. And weathercock is something that you have in the roof to show the direction of the wind, right? He was saying that the statue is beautiful, but in order to avoid being criticized, he added, but the statue is not useful. Okay. Then who made the second comment about the statue, Aka?
Yes, thanks to mother.
Yes, and why?
Why can't you be like the happy? Maybe she's wondering why she's not happy.
Who is not like the prince?
Who? Maybe little boy.
Yes, exactly. Uh-huh. Her son. Because he was crying, right?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Okay. And who made the third comment?
And charity children
No, before.
before and grants a disappointed man.
Yes, because he wasn't happy. And the statue of the happy prince was happy, you know? And he said, at least someone in the world is happy. All right? Okay. Then who else commented?
Charity children.
Uh-huh. And what did they say?
He looks like just an angel.
Uh-huh. And who replied?
The mathematical master replied.
Yes. What did he say?
How do you know? You have ever seen one?
One what?
One of maybe the statue?
No, one angel.
Angel.
Angel. Okay.
Uh-huh. And what did the children say?
But maybe they said they dreamt in it he or she in a dream.
Yes, and what did the mathematical master answer?
Maybe mathematical master frowned,
Yes.
and so he did not approve.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think we understand the story so far, right?
Yes, thank you very much.
You are welcome. Okay, so let's move on. 1 second. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Ellie, could you please read for us?
Me?
Yes, please.
Okay. Sure.
From 1 until
Can you move?
Until Happy Prince, okay?
Okay. One night, there flew over the city a little swallow. His friends had gone away to Egypt 6 weeks before, but he had stayed behind, for he was in love with the most beautiful reed. He had met her early in the spring as he was flying down the river after a big yellow moth, and had been so attracted by her slender waist and that he had stood to talk to her. "Shall I love you?" said the swallow, who liked to come to the point at once, and the reed made him a low bow, so he flew round and round her, touching the water with his wings and making silver ripples. This was his courtship, and it lasted all through the summer. It is a ridiculous attachment, twittered the other swallows. She has no money, and far too many relations, and indeed the river was quite full of reeds. Then, when the autumn came, they all flew away. After they had gone, he felt lonely, and began to tire of his lady-love. She has no conversation, he said, and I am afraid that she is a coquette, for she is always flirting with the wind, and suddenly, whenever the wind blew, the reed made the most graceful courtesies. I admit that she is domestic, he continued, but I love traveling, and my wife consequently should love traveling also. Will you come away with me? He said finally to her, but the reed shook her head. She was so attached to her home. You have been trifling with me, he cried. I am off to the pyramids. Goodbye. And he flew away. All day long he flew, and at night time he arrived at the city. Where shall I put up? He said. I put the town has made preparations. Then he saw the statue on the tall column. I will put up there, he cried. It is a fine position, with plenty to fetch air. So he alighted just between the feet of the happy prince.
Okay, thank you. What's going on, Ellie?
I think talking about the guy named Swallow.
It's a bird.
Huh?
It's a kind of bird. Let me show you.
Okay.
Swallow is a bird.
Oh, it's a bird. Okay.
Let me show you. Let me show you. One second. This kind of bird.
How about the reed?
Another kind of bird.
Oh, okay.
Let me show you. Just one second. Okay, there we go. This one.
Oh, cute. Okay.
Okay.
Reed is a female.
Yes, the reed is a female and the swallow is a male.
Uh-huh.
What's going on?
Because swallow, he just he likes reed, and okay, one night he flew to the city, and then he fall in love with reed.
What else? What did the other swallows do?
So he just asked read about shall I love you, and then read Reed made him a lover, so he flew around, touching the water within, making the word.
Okay, the swallow was in love with the reed. Okay, and the other swallows flew to Egypt, and the little swallow stayed behind because he was in love with the reed.
Uh,
Okay,
he fall in love with Reed, right?
right, but the
Okay.
reed,
Doesn't
uh,
like him.
yes, exactly. And then he decided to to fly away to the Egypt, to
Yeah,
meet
yeah.
the other swallows.
After the okay.
But then he ended up in the statue of the Happy Prince. He had to spend one night before he fly to Egypt, and then the swallow thought, where shall I put off? Where should I stay? I hope the town has made some preparations. And then he saw the statue on the tall column. He saw the statue of the Happy Prince. All right?
Okay.
Is it clear so far, guys?
Sure.
Okay, so let's move on. Please, Gina, could you carry on until
Yes.
until I cannot move? Hold on. No, hold on. No. Hold on. 1 second. Okay.
I have a golden bedroom, he said softly to himself as he looked around, and he prepared to go to sleep. But just as he was putting his head under his wing, a large drop of water fell on him. "What a curious thing!" he cried. "There is not a single cloud in the sky. The stars are quite clear and bright, and yet it is raining. The climate in the north of Europe is really dreadful. The reed used to like the rain, but that was merely her selfishness." Then another drop fell. "What is the use of a statue if it cannot keep the rain off?" he said. "I must look for a good chimney pot." And he determined to fly away. But before he had opened his wings, a third drop fell, and he looked up and saw. Oh, what did he see? The eyes of the Happy Prince were filled with tears, and tears were running down his golden cheeks. His face was so beautiful in the moonlight that the little swallow was filled with pity. "Who are you?" he said. "I am the Happy Prince." "Why are you weeping, then?" asked the swallow. "You have quite drenched me." "When I was alive and I had a human heart," answered the statue, "I did not know what tears were, for I lived in the palace of Sanssouci, where sorrow is not allowed to enter. In the daytime I played with my companions in the garden, and in the evening I led the dance in the great hall. Round the garden ran a very lofty wall, but I never cared to ask what lay beyond it. Everything about me was so beautiful. My courtiers called me the Happy Prince, and happy indeed I was, if pleasure be happiness. So I lived, and so I died. And now that I am dead, they have set me up here so high that I can see all the ugliness and all the misery of my city. And though my heart is made of lead, yet I cannot choose but weep. What? Is he not solid gold? Said the swallow to himself. He was too polite to make any personal remarks out loud. Far away, continued the statue in a low musical voice, far away in a little street there is a poor house. One of the windows is open, and throughout it I can see a woman seated at a table. Her face is thin and worn, and she has coarse red hands, all pricked by the needle, for she is a seamstress. She is embroidering passion flowers on a satin gown for the loveliest of the queen's maids of honor to wear at the next court ball. In a bed in the corner of the room her little boy is lying ill. He has a fever and is asking for oranges. His mother has nothing to give him but river water, so he is crying. Swallow, swallow, little swallow, will you not bring her the ruby of my sword hilt? My feet are fastened to this pedestal, and I cannot move.
Okay. Do you understand what is going on so far?
The swallow started to speak with the happy prince.
Yes, but why? The swallow thought it was raining, but it was not raining. What was going on?
Yes, he wanted to sleep, so he found this place he thought that was good to get asleep, but
Yes.
suddenly he found himself wet, and he thought that it was raining, but it was not rain, but the prince that was crying, the statue that was crying.
Yes, exactly.
So that the swallow asked to the prince why he was crying, and the prince answered that when he was alive he had an happy life because he lived in a palace where there was just pleasure. He made just happy things, and he didn't knew the world out of the palace. And now that he had he was put in a good point of observation because the statue was located in a high place. He could observe what happened in the world, in the city. He could see all the ugliness that surrounded him. For this reason, he started to be unhappy. In particular, he talked to the swallow about a family that lived in the city, a very poor family, where there was a mother who had a poor job with a son that was ill, and the prince asked to the swallow to bring to this woman one of the jewelry he wear.
Yes, very well done. Nice summary. Thank you very much. Okay, let's move on. I hope everything is clear. Okay. Could you please read for us, Ken?
Okay.
Well done, Gina. Okay.
I am waited for in Egypt, said the swallow. My friends are flying up and down the Nile, and take, talking to the large lotus flowers. Soon they will go to sleep in the tomb of the great king. The king is there himself in his painted coffin. He is wrapped in yellow linen and embalmed with spices. Round his neck is a chain of pale green jade, and his hands are like withered leaves. "Swallow, swallow, little swallow," said the prince, "will you not stay with me for one night and be my messenger? The boys is so thirsty, and the mother are so sad." "I don't think I like boys," answered Swallow. "Last summer, when I was staying on the river, there were two rude boys, the miller's sons, who were always throwing stones at me. They never hit me, of course. We swallows fly far too well for that, and besides, I come of a family famous for its agility, but still it was a mark of disrespect." But the happy prince looked so sad that the little swallow was sorry. "It was very cold here," he said, "but I will stay with you for one night and be your messenger." "Thank you, little swallow," said the prince. So the swallow picked out a great ruby from the prince's sword and flew away with it in his beak over the roofs of the town. He passed by the cathedral tower, where the white marble angels were sculptured. He passed by the place and heard the sound of dancing. A beautiful girl came out of on the balcony with her lover. "How wonderful that stairs are," he said to her, "and how wonderful is the power of love. I hope my dress will be ready in the time for the state ball," she answered. "I have ordered passion flowers to be embroidered on it, but the seamstresses are so lazy." He passed over the river and saw the lanterns hanging to the masts of the ship. He passed over the ghetto, and saw the old Jews bargaining with each other and weighing out money in copper scales. At last he came to the poor house and looked in. The boy was tossing feverishly on his bed, and the mother had fallen asleep. She was tired. She hoped and laid the great ruby on the table mm, beside the woman's uh, thimble. Then he flew gently round the bed, fanning the boy's forehead with his wings. "How cool I feel," said the boy. "I must be getting better," and he sank into delicious slumber. And, uh, then the swallow flew back to the happy prince and told him what he had done. "It, it is curious," he remarked, "but I feel quite warm now, although it is so cold."
Yes, one more sentence.
Okay, that is because you have done a good action," said the prince. And the little swallow began to sing, and and he fell asleep.
Thank you, Ken. What's going on?
maybe the statue Little Prince asked the swallow to be a messenger and to the boy in Egypt. But at the beginning, Swallow refused because uh, Swallow have experienced naughty boys, throwing stone to him to it. But he accepted offer, and it went to Egypt to bring Ruby and
No, he
maybe
didn't go to Egypt. He wants to go to Egypt, but instead he decided to stay one more night with the prince
Mhm.
to be his messenger.
Mhm.
Okay? The
Yes.
other swallows are in Egypt.
Okay. As a swallow went to Egypt and see it brought a ruby and how can I say maybe
He
I can
didn't go to Egypt. He went to the seamstress house to bring the ruby.
mhm.
He decided to help the happy prince.
Okay, I see.
Okay,
Okay.
carry on. And why? How did the swallow feel?
Uh, and swallow how can I say and maybe did something by the wings and boy boys became how can I say felt well for that.
Uh-huh. Yes, when the swallow um fanning the boy's
Oh yeah.
forehead with the if his wings, the boy felt better. But how did the swallow feel after uh, bringing the ruby to the woman?
Maybe uh, he, I quite warm, feel quite warm.
Uh-huh. It
I
means
feel
that
quite warm.
he felt good, right?
Yes.
And what the prince said, you felt good. Why?
Uh, maybe the because you have done a good action.
Yes,
You did a good thing. Yeah.
yes, exactly. Thank you so
Mhm.
much.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
Any questions about the vocabulary or?
No, I just confused about the swallow, the place swallow went. That's,
Okay. The other swallows went to Egypt, the
mhm,
migration,
mhm,
but
mhm,
this particular swallow didn't go because
mhm,
he was in love with the reed,
mhm,
but the reed dumped him. So he was going to Egypt, and he decided
mhm,
to stay just one night with the prince,
mhm,
the happy prince.
mhm,
Okay, and then he decided to stay one more night and do this favor, to bring the ruby.
mhm.
He
To the
he he
maybe
didn't go to Egypt. He wants to
so
go, but he didn't.
so he went to the boy's house or maybe boys who are sick or
Yes, in
poor.
the town where the statue is.
Okay. Yeah, okay, I got it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Hi, Martha. How are you?
Hi Anna, hi everybody, Ken and the other friends. It's nice to be here again after a
Yes,
long time.
I'm very happy that you were able to make it today. Okay, Ellie, could you please summarize the story so far, the entire story for Martha?
Me for the entire story
Yes.
because for some parts
Don't
I just
don't worry, Anna. I've been reading and I know what is this about, so we can go on with the story.
Okay. Okay. If you
Okay.
were watching from the outside, it's fine. Okay. So okay. Okay, Ellie, could you carry on?
Okay. Thinking always make him sleepy. When day broke, he flew down to the river and had a bath. What a remarkable phenomenon, said the professor of ornithology as he was passing over the bridge. A swallow in winter, and he wrote a long letter about it to the local newspaper. Everyone quoted. It was full of so many words that they could not understand. Tonight I go to Egypt, said the swallow, and he was in high spirits at the prospect. He visited all the public monuments and sat a long time on top of the church steeple. Wherever he went, the sparrow chirruped and said to each other, "What a distinguished stranger!" So he enjoyed himself very much. When the moon rose, he flew back to the happy prince. Have you any commission for Egypt? He cried. I am just starting. Swallow, swallow, little swallow, said the prince. Will you not stay with me one night longer? I am waited for in Egypt, answered the swallow. Tomorrow my friends will fly up to the second cataract. The river horse couches there among the bulrushes, and on a great granite throne sits the god Memnon. All night long he watches the stars, and when the morning star shines, he utters one cry of joy, and then he is silent. At noon, the yellow lions come down to the waters, edge to drink. They have eyes like green bullies, and their roar is louder than the roars of the cataract something. Swallow, swallow, little swallow, said the prince far away across the city. I see a young man in a garret. He is leaning over a desk covered with papers, and in a tumbler by his side there is a bunch of withered violets. His hair is brown and crisp, and his lips are red as a pomegranate, and he has large and dreamy eyes. He is trying to finish a play for a director of the theatre, but he is too cold to write any more. There is no fires in the grate, and hunger has made him faint. I will wait with you one night longer, said the swallow, who really had a good heart. Shall I take him another ruby? Oh, okay. Alas, I have no ruby now, said the prince. My eyes are all that I have left. They are made of rare sapphires, which were brought out of India 1,000 years ago. Pluck out one of them and take it to him. He will sell it to the jeweler and buy food and firewood and finish his play.
Okay, thank you. What's going on so far? Let me
Yeah,
scroll up.
yeah.
Hold on.
Oh, that's a long.
Yes. Okay.
Tonight, right? Oh,
When the day broke, he flew down to the river and took a bath. The swallow. Okay.
oh, yeah. I guess
It was the
uh
winter, and then a professor of ornithology, people who study birds, was surprised because a swallow was there in the winter taking a bath. And he wrote a letter to the newspaper, to the local newspaper. And everyone talks about it, okay? But the swallow wants to fly to Egypt. But why didn't the swallow fly to Egypt? Why he didn't? He was describing the Egypt, cataract, the waterfall, he was describing. But what the prince said to him to convince him? What did the prince ask the statue? Ellie.
The prince said, have you any commissions for Egypt? What does it mean?
No, it was the swallow, because the swallow wants to go to Egypt,
Yeah.
Other birds flying to Egypt.
Uh-huh.
Okay, but the prince said, swallow, swallow.
The prince wants Swallow to stay one more night.
Yes. Why?
Because I don't know.
Because there is a young man who is trying to do what? To finish writing a play for the director of the theater. Okay? But the guy cannot. Why? Why the guy can't finish the play?
Why he can't finish the play?
Yes.
Because he's hungry.
Yes, hungry and cold.
And fainted.
Yes. And what was the favor the prince asked to the swallow? What is the prince asked to the swallow?
The prince said, I will wait with you. The swallow said, okay, as earlier the prince asked him to stay one more night, but now he said he gonna stay one more night.
Yes. And then the swallow asked, shall I take him another ruby?
Yeah, he want another ruby.
And what's the prince
said he doesn't have any more, because they make from sapphire that is come from Indian. 1,000 years old. Yeah, it's like a one of them and take it.
It's one of the statue's eyes, you know?
I have
Okay?
already answered. My eyes are on. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Ellie.
Sorry.
Yes. No need to be sorry. You did very well. You did great. Is everything clear so far?
Yeah.
Okay. So please, Gina, could you read for us? Hold on. Gina? Gina, are you there? Can you hear me, Gina? Yes, no, maybe so. Okay, Marta, can you carry on, please? And read for us?
Sure. From Dear Prince? From where? Anna?
Yes,
Can
from
you?
Dear, from Dear Prince.
Okay. Dear Prince, said the swallow, I cannot do that. And he began to weep. Swallow, swallow, little swallow, said the prince, do as I command you. So the swallow plucked out the prince's eye and flew away to the student's garret. It was easy enough to get in, as there was a hole in the roof. Through this he darted, through this he darted and came into the room. The young man had his head buried in his hands, so he did not hear the flutter of the bird's wings, and when he looked up he found the beautiful sapphire lying on the withered violets. I am beginning to be appreciated, he cried. This is from some great admirer. Now I can finish my play, and he looked quite happy. The next day the swallow flew down to the harbor. He sat on the mast of a large vessel and watched the sailors hauling big chests out of the hold with ropes. Heave ahoy! Heave ahoy! They shoot as each chest came up. I am going to Egypt, I cried. I am going to Egypt, cried the swallow, but nobody minded. And when the moon rose, he flew back to the happy prince. I am come to bid you goodbye, he cried. Swallow, swallow, little swallow, said the prince, will you not stay with me one night longer? It is winter, answered the swallow, and the chill snow will soon be here. In Egypt the sun is warm on the green palm trees, and the crocodiles lie in the mud and look lazily about them. My companions are building a nest in the temple of Baalbek, and the pink and white doves are watching them and cooing to each other. Dear prince, I must leave you, but I will never forget you. And next spring I will bring you back 2 beautiful jewels in place of those you have given away. The ruby shall be redder than a red rose, and the sapphire shall be as blue as the great sea. In the square below, said the happy prince, there stands a little match girl. She has let her matches fall in the gutter, and they are all spoiled. Her father will beat her if she does not bring home some money, and she is crying. She has no shoes or stockings, and her little head is bare. Pluck out my other eye and give it to her, and her father will not beat her. I will stay with you one night longer, said the swallow, but I cannot pluck out your eye. You would be quite blind then. Swallow, swallow, little swallow, said the prince. Do as I command you. So he plucked out the prince's other eye and darted down with it. He swooped past the match girl and slipped the jewel into the palm of her hand. "What a lovely bit of glass!" cried the little girl, and she ran home laughing. Then
Thank
the
you,
swan.
thank you.
Okay,
Well, thank you, Martha. What's going on so far?
so far, can you come back, please?
Yes.
Roll back. Okay. Um, um, the princess. Okay, so the so the swallow. Hold a second. The princess. Mm, no, you have to go back a little bit more because I am still. Okay, when that happens, as soon that happens, the swallow get back to see the prince again, and what else? So the swallow tell to the prince that he was going to go to leave, and the prince asked him to stay one more night, and he told him about a boy that what happened with the boy.
Eh, After the boy, who had to write a play, um,
Yeah. There was a boy that
there was
was
a little girl.
working a lot in a
Yes,
place,
yes. Uh-huh.
and he was very tired and hungry because he have no food to eat and no wooden for the fire. So the prince asked the swallow to go to where he was, to the student's garret, and to give him his other sapphire eye. And the swallow said that he couldn't do that because the prince will get completely blind.
Yes.
And the prince asked him to do his command, and he went and give the boy the it was easy for the swallow to get in because there was a hole in the roof of the ceiling, and the swallow gave the boy the. I'm not sure if the boy was sleeping or something,
No,
and
the boy was distracted with
was distracted,
his head
so
turned
he didn't
down between
realize
his
about the
hands.
presence of the swallow, and the swallow leave the prince sapphire, I guess, in his hand or on close next to. And when the boy saw it, he was happy because he saw that finally someone is admiring his work, and he was very happy for that.
Yes,
Uh,
and after uh, the guy who was writing the play, there was a girl.
yes, and then the swallow came to see the prince again, and and he told the prince again that it was his last time. He came to say goodbye, and the prince asked him again to stay one more night, and told him about the little girl. There was a little girl that I don't understand exactly what she was doing, but
Okay, she was a match girl, and she had lost the matches, and her dad was going to beat her if she didn't bring some money, you know?
no, yeah, but what is a match girl? I don't know what is match girl.
Okay, it's a girl. I think it's a girl who sells matches, you know? But let's Google. One second. Yes, it's a girl who sells matches. But he had
But
lost.
I don't
Who
understand.
sells match? Two light things, you know?
Okay. Anyway, the girl was lose some of the matches.
She lost the matches, and if she got home without money,
Yes, the
her
father
dad was going to,
would beat
yes, was
her.
going to beat
Father
her.
would beat her. So the prince asked the swallow to give her. Um, I'm not sure what
The
was.
other eye, the
Ah,
other,
the other eye. And
yes,
that's when the swallow cried and say he wouldn't do that because the prince will get completely blind. And the prince asked him to do his command, and he went and give the other sapphire gave to the girl, put it in the girl's hands, and she was very happy because she could match the I don't know the what is jewelry or something or
yes,
stone.
it's a stone, a blue stone.
Okay. And
Okay,
could do it a jewel and his father will not beat her.
yes, thank you very much, exactly. Okay, so now the statue is blind, okay? So, Ken, could you read?
Okay. Uh, then the swallow came back to the prince. "You are blind now," he said, "so I will stay with you always." "No, little swallow," said the poor prince, "you must go away to Egypt." "I will stay with you always," said the swallow, and he slept at the prince's feet. All the next day he sat on the prince's shoulder, and told him stories of what he had seen in the strange land. He told him of the red uh, ibises and ibises, who stand in long rows on the banks of the Nile, and catch goldfish in their beaks; of the Sphinx, who is as old as the world itself, and lives in the desert, and knows everything; of the merchants, who walk slowly by the side of their camels, and carry amber beads in their hands; of the king of the mountains of the moon, who is as black as ebony, and worship a large crystal; of the great green snake that sleeps in the palm tree, and has the and has 20 priests to feed it with honey cakes; and of the uh, pygmies, who sail over a big lake on large flat leaves, and are always at war with the butterflies. "Dear little swallow," said the prince, "you tell me of marvelous things, but more marvelous than anything is suffering of men and women. There is no mystery so great as misery. Fly over my city, little swallow, and tell me what you see there. So the swallow flew over the great city and saw the rich making merry in their beautiful houses, while the beggars were sitting at the gates. He flew into dark lanes and saw the white faces of starving children looking out listlessly at the black streets. Under the archway of a bridge, two little boys were lying in one another's arms to try keep themselves warm. "How hungry we are!" they said. "You must not lie here," shouted the watchman, and they wandered out into the rain. Then he flew back and told the prince what he had seen. "I am covered with fine gold," said the prince. "You must take it off, leaf by leaf, and give it to my poor, and the living always think that gold can make them happy." Leaf after leaf of the fine gold the swallow picked off, till the happy prince looked quite dull and grey. A leaf and a leaf of the fine gold he brought to the poor, and the children's faces grew rosier, and they laughed and played games in the street. "We have bread now," they cried. Then the snow came, and after the snow came the frost. The streets looked as if they were made of silver. They were so bright and glistening, long echoes, like crystal dodgers, hang down from the leaves of the houses. Everybody we went about in force, and the little boys wore scarlet caps and skated on the ice. The poor little swallow grew colder and colder, but he would not leave the prince. He loved him too well. He picked up crumbs outside the baker's door, when the baker was not looking, and tried to keep himself warm by flapping his wings.
Okay, thank you, Ken. Could you summarize what's going on so far?
Maybe Prince became blind, and
Yes.
and Prince asked Swallow to the Swallow's experience, and Swallow told his experience in Egypt. It's kind of a seven wonders in the world kind of thing. But little Prince wanted to ask the people in his city, situation of the people in the city. So Swallow flew around the city, and he found rich people is delighted, but a lot of poor people or poor boys are suffering on the street. So Prince asked Swallow to bring some maybe gold in the statue, little by little to them, and then the two people became richer, and they were able to enjoy their life on the street.
Yes. Well done. Uh-huh. Exactly. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Martha, could you read for us?
Sure. Okay. The
Then?
Then the snow came, and after the snow came the frost. The streets looked as if they were made of silver. They were so bright and glistening. Long icicles like crystal daggers hung down from the eaves of the houses. Everybody went about in force, and the little boys wore scarlet caps and skated on the ice. The poor little swallow grew colder and colder, but he would not leave the prince. He loved him too well. He loved him too well. He picked up crumbs outside the baker's door when the baker was not looking and tried to keep himself warm by flapping his wings. But at last he knew that he was going to die. He had just strength to fly up to the prince's shoulder once more. "Goodbye, dear prince," he murmured. "Will you let me kiss your hand? I am glad that you are going to Egypt at last, little swallow." "I am going," said the prince. "You have stayed too long here, but you must kiss me on the lips, for I love you." "It is not to Egypt that I am going," said the swallow. "I am going to the house of Death. Death is the brother of Sleep, is he not?" And he kisses the happy prince on the lips and fell down dead at his feet. At that moment a curious crack sounded inside the statue, as if something had broken. The fact is that the leaden heart had snapped right in two. It certainly was a dreadfully hard frost. Early the next morning, the mayor was walking in the square below in company with the town councillors. As they passed the column, he looked up the statue. "Dear me, how shabby the happy prince looks," he said. "How shabby indeed," cried the town councillors, who always agreed with the mayor, and they went up to look at it. "The ruby has fallen out of his sword. His eyes are gone, and he is golden no longer," said the mayor. "In fact, he is little better than a beggar." "Little better than a beggar," said the town councillors. "And here is actually a dead bird at his feet," continued the mayor. "We must really issue a proclamation that birds are not to be allowed to die here." And the town clerk made a note of the suggestion. So they pulled down the statue of the happy prince. "As he is no longer beautiful, he is no longer useful," said the art professor at the university. Then they melt the statue in a furnace, and the mayor held a meeting of the corporation to decide what was to be done with the metal. "We must have another statue, of course. We must have another statue, of course," he said, "and it shall be a statue of myself." "Of myself," said each of the town councillors, and they quarrelled. When I last heard of them, they were quarrelling still. "What a strange thing," said the overseer of the workmen at the foundry. "This broken lead heart will not melt in the furnace. We must throw it away." So they threw it on a dust heap where the dead swallow was also lying. "Bring me the two most precious things in the city," said. Okay, lying, sorry. Swallow was also lying.
Yes, could you summarize
Um,
what happened?
okay. After that, the swallow came to see the prince again, and he was feeling very cold, and he knew that he would die soon. So he came. So he said the prince again. He said goodbye. No. And he came to the prince and stayed with him. And the prince says that he was glad that finally he could go to Egypt. And the swallow said that he was going, but not properly to Egypt, but he would go to the place of the dead.
Yes.
And
He was
what
going
else?
to die.
Yes, and what else? What happened? And then
The mayor and the counselors
Yes.
saw
Then
the statue.
the swallow died, and the next day the mayor was walking to the square where the statue of the prince was, and they look at the rotten and silver and statue, and they get surprised about how deteriorated it was, and they detail that it wasn't golden anymore, and it didn't have their eyes, and everything was gone. The so the counselor said, sorry, the mayor said that this statue was not worth to have in the square anymore. So instead of that, he would make a statue of himself. And the professor of art of the university said that it didn't work to have it anymore because it wasn't, what says that? Well, as he is no longer beautiful, he's no longer useful. Yeah, so he said that he would make the statue of himself, and the other two consuls start muttering and whispering about it, and then what is that? And then they say that they also when that happened,
They were fighting
the
because
heart, the prince's heart.
all yes, they were fighting because all of them want each one of them wants a statue of themselves, you know,
They wanted to what?
a statue of themselves. The mayor, you know, the others, and they start fighting with one another.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and what happened to the heart, the broken lead heart?
That the heart broke like in two or something.
It didn't melt, you know, it didn't melt, and they had to throw away with the dead swallow.
Okay.
The heart didn't melt, and they had to throw away with the swallow. Okay.
Where's the furnace?
It's a kind of oven.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, so it didn't melt.
The heart didn't melt, and they throw away the dead swallow and the heart. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Aka, could you please finish, and then we will have a discussion.
Okay. Bring me the two most precious things in the city, said God to one of his angels. And the angel brought him the leaden heart and the dead bird. You have rightly chosen, said God. For in my garden of paradise this little bird shall sing for evermore, and in my city of gold the happy princess shall praise me.
Okay, what happens here?
And God asked the angels to bring maybe some precious stuff, and the angel chose that leaded heart of the little happy prince and that swallow. And God says they are worthy in heaven.
Yes, well done, Ken. Okay, so I have some questions. Ken, why does the prince and the swallow love each other?
Maybe I don't know in that part, but maybe they have a same purpose, same aim to rescue people in the city.
Yes, they became attached to
Yeah,
one another, and
right.
the swallow became the prince's eyes, you know,
Mhm,
and the
mhm,
prince taught him a lesson, you know. He
mhm,
was feeling good each time he would do
mhm,
something good for someone.
mhm.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, Martha, do you think that charity is something important?
Sorry, the monitor is working in outside my garden and I cannot hear the question. Or the
Okay,
second word here.
no problem.
Okay,
I
okay.
will repeat. Do you think charity is important to be charitable? What do you think about charity?
Charity. Charity is a very good thing, but unfortunately, not everybody is aware of what it does mean, and
Hmm.
not many people practice it. Unfortunately, we see from ancient times that the world has been very selfish, and all the people that has more are rich, and they want to get more rich and more rich, and they don't want to feel compassion or about the others that are about the poor, no? So charity is a really good thing. I would say that it's a kind of gift that
Yes,
some people just have inside themselves, in their hearts, in their feelings, like the prince. And a swallow, he didn't know what was it. Was the prince who showed him what was it, and he could understand the real sense of being compassionate with others, no? To show
yes,
charity and love. Charity is a synonym of love for the others.
yes, exactly. Thank you very much, Martha.
Mhm.
Ken,
Mhm.
what do you do to help people less fortunate than yourself?
Maybe I maybe to share something, money or time, whatever.
Uh-huh.
The many people, I think almost all people suffer from something. And if it is extreme, maybe definitely somebody's help is necessary. So I would help them. How can I say it, as much as I can, and I in my own way, like
Yes.
you know.
Uh-huh.
So,
We don't
mhm,
have to be as extreme as the prince and the
mhm,
swallow, but
mhm.
yes. Uh-huh. Thank you very
Yes,
much, Ken.
thank you.
Okay. Martha, why do people do charitable acts, in your opinion?
What they do, charity. Uh,
Yes. Do you think it is always from their hearts, or do you think there are some celebrities who do that to promote themselves? And if so, do you think
yes,
it's
yes,
okay?
definitely. I'm convinced that most of celebrities that really do charity is to promote themselves, to give a face that they are humble, they really care about others, about others' needs, about poverty. But in the real life, that is not, it's not what they really are, because they still want that zone of comfort and live in the luxury way, and we can see that. So we see a lot of contrast. There is people that they are called philanthropists, and these people that is rich people that might be celebrities or not, but it's really rich people that they really want to do charity work, and they are philanthropists because they are anonymous. So they are not interested in that the world knows who they are and why they do this and to get that stereotype of heroes, no, because they are helping the needed and the poorest. So yes, maybe they are not too not all the celebrities might do it for promote themselves or for giving themselves an image of heroes, no, that are helping the world. But mostly of them they do that. That they are very counted little number of that they really do it from the heart.
Thank you, Martha. Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Ken, why are some people not very charitable?
Hmm. Maybe they want to protect themselves, their wealth or their time, or maybe some people they're worrying about sharing. So maybe I think they are protective. That's why they cannot share
Okay.
or afraid of share. Maybe they can, but they are afraid of sharing something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ken, what does it mean to be a good person? It is easy or difficult, and why?
Good sponsor, you
A
said.
good person. A good person.
A good person. No, I think. Hmm. Maybe the it's uh, it's not difficult, but people think it's difficult. I guess because we have we have egos and we have fear and we have maybe the desire of being superior or also in kind of we have an inferior complex too. So maybe this kind of thing is a barrier to be nice or to be a good person.
Okay, thank you. And you, Martha, what's your take on it?
I'm sorry, can you repeat it again?
What's your take on it? What's your opinion?
Uh, if it's difficult to be a good person, no, I don't think so. I
Yeah.
don't think a good person is try to do things in the right way, in the under the parameters of the correctness, and trying to apply all the family social principles that we were taught by our parents, by our school, try to do well to others, but not always is possible because, like Ken says, there's people that have ego and they make them selfish, and they just start thinking more in themselves than in the others, no, and they want to be superior from the others, and maybe try to show something that they might be and the others will not, and it's difficult, and there is a lot of greedy and a lot of selfishness in the world, and that kind of things, and that kind of stereotypes, that kind of materialistic things, the way that the most important is the material things more than the hard things is what make people difficult to be a good person. But we all can be good persons, just from the heart, from what we think, doing well to the others and doing the right thing. I think this is enough, but not everybody understands that.
Yes, thank you so much. Ken, did you like the hangout, the story?
Yes, it's challenging to me, but yeah, challenging is very helpful to develop my English skills. Also,
Mhm.
the discussion is interesting. So thank you very much.
Thank you for remaining to the end, and it was very nice of you both. What did you think, Martha? Did you like
About the
the
about
story?
the story.
Yes, the
Oh,
story, the
it's beautiful.
hangout.
It's beautiful, beautiful in all senses. It goes to your deepest fibers inside of you. It makes you reflect about many things and about the simple things of life that it gives you a lot of lessons about feelings, about the way people act and see the world, no? And
Uh-huh.
no, it's really beautiful, amazing, beautiful. Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
To the tears.
Yes, I
Very
also,
sad.
yes, I also liked this story. Well, that's it, guys. Thank you so much. I hope I had helped you
Thank you
somehow.
for,
Uh-huh.
yes,
Yes, thank you very much.
okay, yes, yes.